Victoria's troubled taxi industry is in for a big shake-up. The state government has adopted nearly all the recommendations of Alan Fell's taxi inquiry. It says they'll lead to better working conditions for drivers and better service for passengers. But the decision to introduce cheaper taxi licences has infuriated existing plate holders who've vowed to fight the changes. Here's our state politics reporter, Francis Bell.
Sweeping changes to fix what the Premier describes as deep-rooted problems.
The biggest overhaul of the Victorian taxi industry since the demise of the horse-drawn hansom cabs.
Most of the 139 recommendations from the Alan Fell's inquiry have been adopted, including a new local knowledge exam for drivers, which will also test English skills.
We're really supportive of most of the recommendations around driver training. We think the knowledge test is a good idea and we support that wholeheartedly.
There'll be a new fare system with lower rates at off-peak times and higher fares on Friday and Saturday nights. The exact rates won't be known for another year.
The recommendation was a 20% loading in those circumstances, but we'll get the Essential Services Commission to do that work for us.
There are changes to benefit country customers and passengers with disabilities. As for drivers, their share of takings will increase from 50% to 55%, and insurance will be mandatory to protect drivers from crippling debt when their cabs are damaged.
What happened today and what the government announced is absolutely victory for taxi drivers.
And credit card service fees will be halved, prompting shares in monopoly provider Cabcharge to plunge by 15%. The biggest and most controversial change is to taxi licences. A perpetual licence for a metropolitan cab currently costs around $350,000. Under the new system, there'll be an annual indexed licence fee, starting at $22,000 a year. It's aimed at encouraging competition. Existing licence holders have vowed to fight the change.
For myself as an investor, total devastation. You know, how the government, with a strike of a pen, can wipe out someone's complete asset.
Maybe they will be 10% worse off. But they've made massive capital gains at our expense over the years.
The changes will take up to 3 years to implement, and they'll be overseen by a new taxi boss, the former head of the ACCC, Graham Samuel. Francis Bell, ABC News, Melbourne.